Yeah, so I mean, you've got all those silos, right? And to some degree, you've over the years integrated them, right? You can move data back and forth. You can maybe you're using some business intelligence tools or Excel direct queries or something to pull data from multiple sources. But every time you do something, it becomes a one-off project. You're out there, you're having to reinvent the wheel each time. And then, like Mark talked about, the new acquisition, you brought in a new company and all of theirs, right? So what do we do about that? Well, what we do, and the Microsoft answer to this, and there are other platforms out there as well, but is an end-to-end platform, a unified platform, and in our case, that's Microsoft Fabric. So it's about um, unifying those data sources. It might be by replicating data into something like a data lake, or somewhere in Fabric. There's a lot of different ways of storing data in there. Or it might be providing links back to the data, so real-time data links. It's really even better. We don't want you as we want as little duplication of data as possible, obviously. So so Fabric allows us to take all those different disparate data sources and pull them together, where you can then use tools against it, right? So you've got a more or less uniform endpoint that you can point Power BI at, or that you can use Azure Data Factory, or we may talk a little bit about Synapse, data engineering, real-time analytics, things like that. And of course, things like Copilot, AI tools, whether it's Copilot or some other tool, being able to have a unified endpoint that you can point to, and this represents my data. Uh, that's where we're going. That's where we're going with this. That's where we're taking our clients with this, and that's where you want to be looking to get the most out of those tools. This is one view, one place where you might be looking in Fabric, right? So this represents a particular workflow, and some of the things that you can do all in this single unified platform, right? So you can imagine each of these boxes you could click into and go crazy. But you've got your data coming in. Some of it's getting stored as replica data, some of it is links. Then you're going to be analyzing that data in some way. You might be using it for machine learning or other AI tools, something like that. Otherwise, you're preparing it for visualization. Track data over time, changes, deltas. These are really important in business, and something that gets missed in most ERP systems and most traditional ways of dealing with data. And then what are you going to do with it? Is this going out in Teams? Is this going out for reports? Is this going out to, screens in the lobby? Is this, what are you doing with that data? How is it being distributed? And then, a distribution piece there might also be archive, compliance, things like that. So I'm obviously glossing over a lot here, but this is just a traditional workflow for, one of our clients.